Hello YouTube, John DiMartino here. Gonna put some Timbrens on my truck. I haven't seen any YouTube videos of installs on these trucks, so I figured I would do one. Please excuse my lousy editing and camera work, and I'm not much in front of the camera for sure. So I got the Timbren set for the 4-wheel drive. We're gonna put them on here in a minute. First thing you do is remove the old bump stop using a 13mm socket, which I got here on a snap-on electric ratchet. Okay. Get that off. Need to reuse the bolt. The factory bump stop comes off. We're not going to need that again. And then each one of the mounts are marked left and right. You can see this is the left one. So there's an offset on these. Installing them requires you to use a wrench or to use a swivel socket, which is what I'm going to use here, because the Timbren requires you to slightly offset the Timbren from the bottom of the frame rail. So you need to come up through this hole here. See the angle? So with that done, we simply mount the bracket. Where the factory bump stop was. Open it up. With that good and tight, we switch to the regular 13mm socket. Oh, I apologize. The new hardware that comes with the Timbren kit has a much larger head. It's a 17mm. So it's going to be a 17 socket. A lock washer. The Timbren comes straight from the Timbren. We have the washer inside of it already. So we just take our lock washer and put it all together. And because this is a 4-wheel drive, we're going to be using the spacer. If it rides too hard, empty, we'll remove that spacer later on. They provide a smaller bolt for that application as well. So these are going to be installed next. Tighten down. That's it. That wraps up the top portion of the installation. Now around the axle tube is obviously round. Timbren provides this bracket, which is very simply a flat piece of steel with 2 pieces of metal and what's obviously a muffler clamp. And here's the bottom of the muffler clamp. That goes on the axle. That just provides a flat surface for the Timbren booster to bottom out on. I am a klutz today. Also, they provide a couple flat washers So we're going to install that, and then this side will be done. I don't think this gets tightened very much because you would physically pull the welded portion away from the flat steel. So this doesn't do very much, just provides a flat surface on the axle for the timbering to work on when it does engage. So I've used these with a lot of success in the front ends of my plow trucks. They're pretty simple. They're not very high tech, but they work. They work pretty well if they're clicking at the right time. I'm not going to go crazy on those. We'll check them later on. That's one side done. Didn't take long at all. Here, I'm going to show you that. Go to hardware. If you've got a two-wheel drive, or you want your timbrens to kick in later, you would not use this bolt. You would simply use the other one they provide instead, and leave out the spacer here. You would just install the timbren directly onto it. I think my parts are still in the box here. For this side, that's one side done. We're going to just do the other side and finish it up. So you would just install the timbren like that. For a four-wheel drive, you simply install this. Or if the four-wheel drive rides too hard, they tell you to take this little spacer out. So I'm putting the spacers in. This is my truck stock height four-wheel drive. And if it rides too hard, I'll either take it out or I'll find something in between, whatever it takes. But anyhow, that's going to wrap this up. And I also did my second oil change today on this truck. 600 miles on it. And I'll give you the finished install. The only other concern I have with this side, it's not going to be an issue on the other. It may not be an issue here. I won't know until I lower the truck down. The routing of the brake lines. There's an extra bracket here. But it does look like the axle will come back slightly as it goes down, and it may go away from it. I don't know. When I let it down, I'll see. As you can tell, here's the concern I had with tightening these very much, because it's just a rather small weld on the top of that, and you don't want to tighten that too much. So over here, we already got the factory bump stop off. We're going to do the same thing, and that's going to be it. Like I said, I just rotated my tires, left this one off to make it easier to take a video. Change oil filter using the Motorcraft oil filter, and I'm using the Castrol Magnatech 5W30 full synthetic. It's also Dexos 2 rated. Oil change is finished up, and like I said, there's the filters I'm using. Oil was not bad, as you can tell. 4,900 miles on it. This is the last part of my video. Finishing up the Timbren install, the oil change, tire rotation. This is my F150 ecoboost. My brother found this. Just looking over quick, you can see that has been rubbing for a while. The vacuum line for the four-wheel drive. This is for the left front hub. So with this off, the hub defaults to engaged, which means I'm turning my front drive line. And even though the other side was on, this is a tremendous amount of vacuum to lose because you have an open hole. So it's not likely there's enough vacuum left for the other side to disengage. Or it could have done something worse and partially disengage. That would be the worst thing it could do, because then it would grind. But I didn't hear any grinding going on, so I just want to show you. I took a different video with another camera, but it wasn't nearly as good. This camera, you can clearly see well, that's been rubbing. You can see how worn it is. That didn't just happen. So I'm wondering if the Ford dealer left it off. When they made the repair at 4,000 miles, they replaced the check valve. And I thought they did a good job. I also noticed a little bit worse fuel economy, so this will cause a decrease in fuel economy because my front drive line is spinning. Even though I'm not full drive, because my transfer case will be disengaged, I will be turning this whole axle at the minimum, probably both. And that would in turn turn the front drive shaft for nothing, which is right here, as you can see. Just something I thought I'd show you, and just a reason why it's always good to take a look under your truck every once in a while and personally inspect it. I don't care what dealer you go to. No one's going to look over your truck as good as you are. Doesn't take much time. Just takes a couple minutes with a light. Take a quick look at your truck, and while you're doing your service is the best time. That way you get a look at things, and if there's anything wrong, you can address it. It doesn't matter how new your truck is. This one's only a couple months old, so just goes to show you stuff happens. And here's my finished up Timbren install. And I got the spacers in because it's a four-wheel drive. And here's the other side. I'm going to let the truck down now and see if these hoses are going to be a problem. So they're pretty close. So, but I just installed these because I put them under the trucks with no problem, and they do help. And if I'm towing a tongue-heavy trailer or anything along those lines, it's going to take a little bit of pressure off the leaf springs, and it's going to stabilize the truck, allow me to carry heavier loads without bottoming. And well, I will be bottoming on this, but I'm not going to be bottoming it down in the bottoming stop and putting excessive pressure on my springs. So anyhow, just wanted to do a quick follow-up video. Just change oil on this thing, and like I said, I'm going to let it down, start it, and see if it disengages like it's supposed to. And maybe going back, I don't know. But it's very obvious what was going on here. And that's been scraping for a while. Possibly since I did the work. I didn't get under the truck and physically look at it when they were finished working on it. I probably should have, but I didn't. So as you can see, there's nothing here on this side. It's fine. So, alright. Hope everyone has a good weekend. Bye.